Yes, we are back. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, welcome, one and all. This is another edition of Nothing But the Truth with
Brother Jamil?
and Sister Tisha. We are back with another great program tonight. And I'm smiling, Sister Tisha, because I cannot I can't fathom how blessed we are to continue with this cavalcade of great guests,
I love it.
with folks who have plenty to say about plenty of subjects and can make things happen. So we're very glad to receive everybody, and we're so grateful. And so, yes,
Is
there
Kia
is.
saying we're blessed because she's here? Is that what you're? We're blessed because you're here, Kia.
We're blessed that you're here, Kia. Yes, our family is here. Brother Jerry's here, and we're glad to see you, Brother Jerry. Inner Peace 360. And so excited about tonight's show. We share that with you. Come on in the room, everybody.
Come on
I'm gonna
in.
I'm gonna turn you over in just a few seconds to the world's most beautiful host, who will tell you about how you can become a supporter and consistent viewer of this program, how you can share this message, how you can begin to expand the platform and give everybody this good news. Tisha, what should they do?
Alaikum, everybody. Welcome, welcome,
It's fine.
welcome to another wonderful edition of Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. We are so glad to be back for another week. We are so glad that you've decided to join in. You too, Kia. Okay. What we ask that you do is go over to our YouTube page, Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. Like, share, and subscribe. And then come on over to my Facebook page. It's under Tisha Muhammad and do the same. Like, share, and subscribe. We're on our way to opening up a Facebook page under Nothing But the Truth, but that will be coming shortly in a few more
Mhm.
weeks. Okay. All right.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Ready to hear from
indeed.
our guests in a little bit, but come on in.
Mhm.
Come on into the chat room so we can say hi.
Come on in. And if you're on Facebook, comment. If you're on YouTube, comment. Share with us. Hey, Brother Jaziri is here. And thank you, Brother Jaziri, for being with us this evening. We've got a lot to talk about. And as we move forward, tonight's guest brought this back to my mind
Mhm.
as we continue to do the knowledge. Just like our brothers and sisters in Springfield, Ohio, at Mosque number 71 with Brother Mark. There he is, present in Springfield, Ohio. But, as
Yeah.
we do this, we have to become self sufficient,
Yes.
solvent, and we have to be able to move flexibly to the various different program goals that we set for ourselves.
Mhm.
Information is at an all time premium. It's never been more important to be well informed than it is in today's cacophonous din of information and noise and all of that. Yes, cacophonous din, noise all over the place. And we want to make sure that we are a constant voice for truth.
Yes.
Speaking of a constant voice for truth, should I go ahead and do it?
Do
Should I
it. Do
go ahead
it.
and do
We
Go
need
ahead and do
all
it?
the time we can get. Go on and
Let's go. Let me
do
go ahead and do it. I'm
it.
going to
Do it.
bring our guest forward. He is my brother and my friend for a number of years. When I think about it, it's over 3 decades of knowing this brother. And it went by like that because he seems like he's always been here.
Yeah.
But he is our brother straight from Harlem, New York, as he likes to say. But along the way, between Harlem and where he is now, he made a number of stops, and everywhere he went, he enhanced the effort of people to do good. We're very pleased to have him now as one of the movers and shakers in a partnership with a large insurance company doing business on the West Coast in Northern California. He has become an expert on financial matters across this whole country and certainly in his home state of California. And we hope to be able to circle around and focus on that tonight. Why don't you join me in welcoming my brother, my friend from the medical team of the
Yes.
Nation of Islam, one of the greatest martial artists, a very humble brother. He's my friend and I love him. Let's bring him forward. Brother William Muhammad from Oakland, California. There he is. There he is.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Alaikum
salam.
salam.
All right, all right. We're working to remove an echo from the system. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna get to it and uh,
Okay.
and make it happen. If you have two devices on, turn
I
one of
do
your
not.
devices off,
I do not.
okay? Because I have one of those spiritually resonant voices.
Yes.
that echoes. Mhm. And I want to make sure that everybody can hear it. You all come on in the room because our guest has a lot to say tonight, and I want to make sure that we can do all that we need to do to hear him. All right.
Take Brother William back up.
All
Okay,
right.
wow.
Is that better?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
There's an echo on you, Tisha, and an echo on me.
Is there an echo?
Hmm. We have a little
Okay, let me hear
technical
it
problem
now.
every now and then.
So now there's no echo.
No echo on me either.
Mm-mm.
The problem may be town business. It may be some Oakland stuff. So let's see if we can hit it back in there with the Oakland stroke. Brother William Muhammad. Yes, let's give a round of applause like this is the first time he's ever been here. Brother William is coming back into
All right.
and
What about now?
well,
Hello.
the
Yes.
echo is back, Brother William.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do here.
It would indicate that there are probably two devices,
I
a
don't have two
telephone and a
devices.
computer,
I do not have that open.
or a computer with two mics open.
Let me see if I can do this.
So we work these problems out. Say,
I don't
hey,
hear it anymore.
and by the way, he might have gone on mute.
Oh no.
Now, yeah, now I hear the echo again. Be patient with us, family. We'll work this out. It was not a problem in pre-production, but sometimes life will throw you a curveball. You got to stand in the batter's box, just like Willie Mays.
Okay. I'm going to leave out and come back in.
Okay.
All
Go.
right, brother. We'll be here. And while we're welcoming our brothers and sisters from around the country, there's Trisha, our family from Texas. Good to see you. All right, all right, all right. And Brother Mark and others, Brother Jerry, Nakia, those of you who are on the line, tell folks to come and join us tonight, especially the folks that you care about.
Right.
Tell them to join us tonight because there'll be something here from our guests that will aid in the development of a better position for you and for your family, for
Right.
safety, for security, for financial security,
Mm-hmm.
for solvency.
Peace of
And
mind.
times are hard. They
Mm-hmm.
really are. I was listening to my wife the other day, who does all of the brain work in this organization. Okay, can I just say that, Tisha?
Yes, you can say that because that's the truth. And we're nothing but.
The truth. Okay, but she does a lot of the brain work here, and she does the aspect of organization of our family's business. And when she does it, she notes often that we are stretching our dollar further and further across the same distance because the dollar is losing its spending power. We'll talk about that tonight. We'll talk about savings strategies and investment strategies, and not in a boring way, but in
Right.
a way that will show you that you too, no matter even if you don't have a lot of money already, you can still make a difference in your own future, your own progress. You can do that. And the way you do it is by careful planning and working smart, not necessarily working hard, but
Right.
certainly working smart.
We apologize for the technical difficulties, but once we get it out, we're going to move right into what Brother William wants to share with us tonight, because there's a lot of practical applications that he's going to give us, a lot of tips and things that we can use. That's what we're looking for. I want you, if you have young adults in your family, to invite them onto the broadcast tonight as well, because he has a lot that he wants to speak to them about to help them get on their, the path of stretching their dollar, growing their dollar, correcting their dollar, whatever that looks like for them. He's going to
Yes.
speak to them towards that too.
Mhm.
So this is going to be a great show.
And while we wait, I was going to just wait patiently, but I think I'll break out with my vocal tribute.
Brother William, come back.
I'm gonna wait. No, here it goes. And
Mystery Man, could you see if Brother William's ready? Hey, hon.
wait, you couldn't hear me?
I heard you great. It was great. That was lovely, hon.
I thought you'd enjoy it. I thought you'd like it. I mean, it was something that I've been working on for a while. All right. Here's Dr. Echo. He's back.
I don't know if it fixed it.
Let's see.
Did it fix it now?
It seems like it did. Yes.
Oh, praises be to Allah.
Yes, sir. But you did miss my vocal tribute to Luther Vandross.
Which
Yeah.
one did A House Is Not a Home?
Don't worry, it's okay. It's over. We don't have time.
Okay, so you see what I was doing. See what brother
Mhm.
working with over here. Okay,
That's
so
right.
anyway,
Okay.
our
Let's
guest
end.
is with us. We don't want to delay a moment longer. Usually we bring our guests on right here at 8:11. So it's time to bring the guest forward. Brother William, you started in New York.
Yes, sir.
Humble, average, everyday working origins, worked your way up from Harlem and began a remarkable journey across the country. I'd like and really touching people for good everywhere that you went.
Praise His
I'd like
Lord.
to start with a question about how your life's journey helped to prepare you to become the kind of valuable asset that you have become, not just to your own religious and neighborhood community, but to people everywhere.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, one, thank you both for inviting me to come on your show again. I love to converse with family, especially about these types of things. You know, this is very, very important. But my start in the Nation of Islam was like many others. Somebody approached me with that Final Call newspaper. I
Mhm.
put it down, I picked it back up. I wanted to know more. I got invited out to the mosque when it was on 125th and Fifth Avenue. If you remember that building, that's where I got my start.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Uh, but I was a very young male, and my mother passed when I was very young. So the Nation of Islam raised me from a teenager until now.
Okay.
And it's been about 31, almost 32 years at this point. But I was taught several things right in the very, very, very beginning, and that is to speak the truth,
Mm.
regardless to whom or what,
Yes, sir.
And if you do that, you know, you will be blessed beyond measure. It will take you down several different paths. But my sojourn in the Nation of Islam is 100% of the reason why I have any level of success at any time. 100%.
Nice. Okay.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That kind of development based on character. I guess
Yes.
that's where we're going. And again, Sister Tisha will ask you more of the detailed questions about the subject matter.
Mhm.
But
Sure.
I'm just interested. Is it important, like, to be a person of character, to be a good person, to do what you do, or can anybody do it? I mean, I hope you understand my
Well,
question.
you know, can anybody do it? Well, you probably can because there's a lot of unscrupulous people in the financial sector, right? But
Mhm.
to have longevity, especially amongst people that look like me and look like you and look like us, our people, you have to have something that's very, very important, which is called trust. And if people do not trust you, if your people do not trust you, it doesn't matter how good of a product you have, or how good of a salesman you are, or how good of or how fancy you look, or how fancy your office is, you will not be in business long.
Okay.
We have learned that we have been lied to for many, many, many years about lots and lots and lots of different things. And there's certain things that Black folks and poor people or people who are not as wealthy uh, don't play about. And one of them is their money.
That's right.
It's their money. They'll play about that money, right? So
Mhm.
you need to be on the up and up. And, it's okay to give somebody bad news. Bad news is a part of life. Most of us can handle it. Even if you don't think that your clients can
Mhm.
handle
Mhm.
it, give it to them straight.
Mhm.
But if you're going to give them an issue, if there's a problem, if there's an issue, there's bad news, you should do your best to find a way to uh, leave them with a solution.
All right.
Find a way, right? Let's find a way to make things better, right?
Gotcha.
And that's how I've been in business this long. I worked at Chase Bank as the assistant vice president of the Diversity Council. I was a senior lending manager for Bank of America for many years. And the reason that I was able to move through this way, move through these companies and get pretty high up as far as what they would consider as high is really because of the integrity. It says William Muhammad on my business card.
Right.
It says William Muhammad on my degree. It says William Muhammad on. So they know exactly. There's a picture of Mr. Farrakhan sitting in my office right now, right?
Yes, sir.
And so people know exactly who I am, and because of that is why I have business from everybody in Berkeley and San Ramon, and integrity is a big deal. It really is a big deal when you're in business.
Beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is beautiful. I'm so glad that you're here and on this platform, and we were able to bring you forward again. You're one of my favorite guests because you have so much to share, so much that our community needs to hear. And like you said, integrity and trust is very important. And for us, for our people, a lot of times we don't trust because we haven't been properly handled for most of
Right.
us, right?
Right.
Most of the financial institutions focus on those with the big money. And
That's
just to
true.
be real, that's not always us. So
Correct.
we wanted to bring somebody on who we know loves us and will give it to us straight so that we can build our money, step by step. We may not
Right.
have the big money, yet, because it's coming, but we need to know how to navigate these waters with what we do have. And
Sure.
that's why I'm glad that you're here, that you're going to be able to speak, hopefully be able to speak to us on that level. Give
Yes,
us
ma'am.
tips and tools and strategies that we could use, practical strategies that the everyday brother and sister could use to help navigate these rough waters that we're facing right now, that are just
Mhm.
going to get tighter for people like us, right? People
Right.
who may check to check or just a little bit past check. We can go out to dinner once or twice, but that's it.
Mhm.
We're waiting
That's
on the
right.
next check. We're not
That's
balling
right.
out. Those people right there who can't ball out, we may find ourselves holding on to everything because we don't know what's coming, right? And we may
Right.
not have to do that as tight. If you could help us with some strategies to stretch our dollars,
Absolutely.
rise with our dollars. Maybe
Yes,
if I don't
ma'am.
know what that looks like, it could be investment, it could be cutting back on this or that. Whatever you tell us,
Mhm.
that's the help that we're looking for. And then maybe help us not be so afraid to reach out to financial advisors. Because I'm
Absolutely.
sure we can start wherever we are. We just don't know that we can.
Right.
Have a brother William to help guide us through,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Praise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say one of the things that I strongly believe in
Mhm.
is understanding truly the science of business, right?
Mhm.
And although we hear these things on CNN or C-SPAN or Fox News or whatever report that we're reading, that information is really good information. It's really and true. It's great,
Mhm.
but usually it's for people who have already had some type of substantial income or some substantial monies stashed away somewhere.
Right.
My suggestion is to start with your children
Nice.
and to start with young people, start them on a path really early in life. So I brought some things that I want to show you. It's real important, if you don't mind.
I don't.
No, no.
Uh,
I'm sorry. That looks like like a baseball.
It's a baseball.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a little baby basketball there.
That's a baby basketball. This is one of my client favorites.
Okay. A unicorn.
It's a
Yes.
unicorn, right?
Okay.
And then for those who have little boys and people who are, it's a spaceman,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm with you.
You know what all of these things have in common?
What?
They're banks.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're all banks.
Yes.
The first thing you want to do is make saving fun.
Mhm.
And you make saving fun with children by giving them something that looks like a toy,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but after a while it will start to get heavy and we start weighing it. Oh, how much does your baseball weigh, or how much does your bank weigh, whatever it is that you use. But start them very, very early. And then when it's full, then show them the benefits of saving by allowing them to go to a store and pick up something that they like, or to give some money in their charity. You know, if we're at the mosque or at your church or your synagogue or wherever you attend. And then as you get a little bit older, you want to get into using something that looks like this, which is a little calculator. It's nothing fancy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but let's say that somebody is going to save $25 a week. Now, sometimes $25 means absolutely nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We spend that at a trip and a half to Pete's Coffee. We have Pete's here. I don't know if they have Pete's there.
We have Pete's, yes.
We have Pete's Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But you take $25, and sometimes that $25 will determine whether your family eats that week or not.
Okay.
But the weeks that you can, let's say you have $25 and you multiply that by 4, because there's 4 weeks in a month, and you multiply that number by 12. And that means, because there's 12 months in a year, you would have saved $1,200
just
in
like
that
that.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Real simple.
Right.
We can put $25 a day. You don't have to start with some huge number, right? Start where you are.
Yes.
Don't worry about running a race with someone else or keeping up with the Joneses. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has a very simple program.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. Do for yourself.
Come on.
And sometimes doing for self means saving money for yourself, right? Or eating the right kinds of foods. Because I love navy bean soup. Navy bean soup is not expensive to make. I don't need a $35 or $40 steak. I've stopped eating red meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a blue moon, once on my birthday, I do like some lamb. But I treat myself to little things every once in a while, because I have a much bigger goal. We want to be comfortable, right? But we don't want to hurt ourselves in the process. Right. Enjoy your life. But if your shoes fit, right, but they have a little dust on them, it's okay to buff them off and to brush them off and to shine them. It's okay to take them to a cobbler and have them repaired. It's okay to know how to sew a button, as opposed to saying, oh, my button popped off and I'm going to go buy another $85 shirt. No, we don't need to do that. Not now. Now, as your money starts, you get that nice little knot, and start happening for you, then of course, by all means. But let's start by really understanding how to live in our means. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
In your means, not your neighbor's means.
Not your neighbor's means. What I think we can do here, Brother William, we do have a short span of time before our bottom of the hour break. But as Sister Tisha will tell you, the questions are beginning to come in. Do you feel like taking a few rapid fire questions from the text?
I'm happy to. Yeah.
Right. Sister Tisha, you had a question in there from Jay DeLay, our brother in Houston.
I see it. He's asking, are you a fan of trust? Oh, he asked 2 questions. Jay, he also asked, are you a fan of IULs?
Yes, I am a fan of trust, and no, I am not a fan of IULs. And I will tell you the reason why. In theory, they are beautiful policies, life policies. However, I have never, ever seen one that actually made a profit on the back end. That is a policy that you have to constantly fund, right? You have to constantly fund it, and you have to overfund it for you to make money in it. Now, if you find a plan that is right for you, and life insurance should be built around you and your budget specifically, not just because you want to make some money.
Are we talking about IULs or trust? Because I don't know what an IUL is.
We're talking about IULs.
Okay.
What does that stand for?
That's an indexed life insurance policy. So it's there. It's an investment tool. But when I've really not seen any of them work, but the ones that are closest to working Those are people who are very wealthy and they're very savvy. And these are people who are constantly on the grind and they're paying attention to what that index life policy is doing.
Okay. Index Universal Life. Is that what that stands for?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very, very good. Next
There are,
question.
I want to make a
Yes.
quick note to that. There are policies that
Mhm.
you can use your money to invest in that will give you a good return on it. And if you would like to know more about those kinds of policies, whether you do them with me or someone else that you trust, I can at least guide you down that path where you're not losing your money. Yes, ma'am.
Church question. Okay, so
Mhm.
I have a question on policies too.
Yeah.
It's real personal. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being stingy. I just want to know because he's here. So I took out policies when my children were little.
Yes.
They're in their 20s and 30s now. I don't know whether I should keep this policy. It was just a small policy, a child rider, that in case something happened, I'd be able to bury them, right? So I
Okay.
kept paying on it. And then after they hit a certain age, I guess like 25, then it had to go on to a regular policy. But
Okay.
I've been paying for 30 years and it only covers a small amount.
Well,
To keep paying for that, or should I let that go and start a whole nother policy? Because I don't think I'll get back from it.
here's what we'll do. I can review that policy because I can't advise you on something I'm not looking at directly. But a lot of times those are convertible policies, and we can convert them into something that may bring you more money. But if it's not, if it's just a simple term, then yeah, you're just wasting your money, and we can find another place for that.
That was my, I guess that was my long way of asking the question. Is there such thing as wasting on a policy? So yes, but that's what I kind of feel like just doing at this point.
Absolutely.
Wow. Wow.
And
Amazing.
I
Amazing.
saw a comment popped up talking about that's the new go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Can that person explain what they were asking about, the new go-to?
That's Kia. Kia,
Okay.
if you could pop in there, what is, I think she may be referring to the IUL, but
Yeah.
if it's something that people are, how much importance should we place on what's trendy? And the reason I ask is because many of us are consumers in one way or another of social media.
The IULs will pay me 7 times the normal commission of any other policy.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So everybody's
It's like a pay option arm when people were buying these homes, these no income, no assets, and then 3 years later it balloons and then they lose their house. Right? It was popular because you're in, you can do things, and it's good. You should have something. However, like I said, I've never seen any of them pay out at all.
So my question then is even more pronounced. Many of us do consume social media. And one of the staples of social media, whatever platform, if it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever format, Twitter or X, you see many of these people saying, listen, here's what you do. Take $200 and get this kind of thing. And when you get that, then take out a loan. And you take out a loan, and you take out the loan for $50,000, then you get 6 credit cards. And each one of those 6 credit cards, you get a line of credit. And then before you know it, you got $250,000 off of your $200 that you started with. And like, how much stock should we place in that kind of talk?
None.
Oh, yeah. That was
okay. Don't beat around the bush. Say directly what you mean. Don't worry about being diplomatic. Just go ahead and say what you mean.
No, absolutely. There is some truth, but I would be remiss if I did not mention where I learned my financial savvy. I learned my financial savvy from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
There it is.
That's the blueprint. And they did nothing fancy. There was nothing fancy about it. We needed some eggs, so we got some chickens. Right? We needed some milk, so we got some cows. We needed a place to buy groceries, so we have a grocery store. Usually the simplest answer is the best.
Yes,
and if it's something that's so convoluted and you have to do this to do this, that's really kind of crooked dealing. And we're taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Honorable Louis Farrakhan, to not deal with crooked dealings. So I do my best not to engage in that. I'm sure you can do those things, but when I got to decide this $200 is going to feed my family this week, or am I going to do this? And maybe by chance, if I do this, if I don't make any mistakes, and so the sun is shining the right way, then I might make an extra, $400 or $500, whatever it is.
Right.
I've just learned over the years that you're not going to get something for nothing.
Right. You're never going to get something for nothing. That's key. That's key to understand. We've reached the bottom of the hour, Tisha, already. Two things. We're going to take our short break and be right back. You are watching Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and the great Sister Tisha. There she is. That's the one with the smile. That's her. And I want to just tell you, if you look in YouTube, you'll see that we have 802 subscribers.
Gotta get to 1,000.
We need to get to
1,000.
Let's go right there today on YouTube at Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. And subscribe. Subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Right.
It's worthwhile. It's worthwhile. On
Good
these
information.
airwaves, you'll see the people who provide answers to various different aspects of the life. So we'll get back to that. And when we come back after the break, everybody come back and watch. We've got a special quote from a very special person to ask Brother William about some special activity. We'll be back right after this.
Assalamualaikum, family.
Assalamualaikum.
What are we saying? What are we doing? Woo! Assalamualaikum, family. Assalamualaikum, family.
Assalamualaikum.
We want to thank you for taking the time to tune into Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil
and Sister Tisha. We thank you for every Thursday night joining us for appointment viewing. 8 p.m. Not 8 a.m.
Yeah, I'm going to come in on the p.m.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Thursday nights by YouTube, by Facebook, by Instagram, by all the other means by which we can be seen. But we thank you, because without you, as a matter of fact, here the Manhattans, there's no me without you.
We always do that. Assalamualaikum.
There's no me.
You didn't say assalamualaikum. You didn't say assalamualaikum.
Oh, assalamualaikum. All right. I think the vocals are great. I really do. Oh, there's someone we don't really know. There's someone who none of us have ever met. This sister. She's a mystery to us. Well, isn't she, Sister Willetta? There's Will. It starts with Will. Sister Willetta, thank you for joining us tonight. Excellent information. It truly is. And we thank you for joining us again. And we also thank you, Brother Mark, for your assessment that it's already an excellent program. And we're just about halfway through. So we want to get right back to the program, the questions, and those information. And yes, Kia, the contact information will be on the screen. So everybody get a pen and pad, because in just a few moments, you'll see the contact information for Brother William pop up on the screen. Now, this next quote I wanted to ask you about is a quote from a very beloved figure in our nation of Islam. I'm going to paraphrase it so that I don't run the risk of missing any particular aspect of it. But the quote is from our sister, our beloved minister, Dr. Ava Muhammad. May Allah be pleased with Dr. Ava. And you, I don't know if you see, they may have her. There's Dr. Ava. We love our sister. She really is one of the stars of Allah. And Dr. Ava said it this way. She said that the marriage and family is the power and wealth base of the Black man.
Mm.
Could you say something to us, Brother William, about whether or not it makes a difference if we strive to create marriages and families, or how does that work? Does it affect, is it more advantageous to build wealth in a family or not?
Uh, wow, that's a really powerful statement,
Mm.
and I've heard it several times in our in our life. But I kind of want to give you an answer a different way, right?
Okay.
So, as some may or may not know, I used to teach disaster preparedness workshops all over our nation. And in a disaster kit, what do you think is the most important thing in your disaster preparedness kit? What do you think?
Let's go in the chat and answer. Hey, everybody in the chat, just go in. If you're in the comment section, let's go in. I'm going to enter my comment, but I'm going to put mine in last after I learn what everybody else said wrong. Okay,
Okay.
so I can act like I had the answer. That don't do that.
So one of my favorite shows is Naked and Afraid, and you have to survive, out in the
Yeah.
wilderness with nothing. And they
Yeah.
always wish that they had fire starter.
Okay, you said fire starter.
Fire
I
starter.
say
No.
Water.
Okay, not fire starter. Okay, what about a pure source of drinking water?
Water. Yep.
That's really important, but it's not the most important.
Okay, wait. That's okay. We're gonna get this. I need for Brother Mark, Sister Willetta, everybody, just come in. Cornbread, put something in there. Brother Tony,
No.
you're in Miami. You know what to put in there. Something.
Most important
The
thing.
most important thing in your survival kit, in your like in a go bag, right? Like in
Yeah, a
something like
go
that.
bag or a shutting kit list or a vehicle kit or whatever it is.
Is it
The
cooking
most important
implements?
thing. That's a good one.
Well,
That's a
Sister
good one, but
Willetta
that's
says
not it. That's
Sister
not it.
Willetta says she needs will. She got to have will.
To survive. Yeah.
She needs
Sense of
will to
awareness.
survive. Yes. Okay, sense of awareness. Is that it, brother?
No,
Brother James in
no.
Dallas.
They're all
said-
good.
Money. He's the money. Yeah, right. Mark, money.
And
No,
and
it's
Kia
not
says
money.
faith.
No,
Wait a minute now. You don't need money or water.
no, you need all of those, but they're not the most important.
I'm
The
gonna give
words are
one
in.
last stab at it. One
Okay,
last stab at
okay,
it.
okay.
A non-electronic book of maps to cover topography and directions. Maps. Is that it?
Paper maps.
That's important too, but no, that's not the most important. Okay. Would you like to know?
Please.
We would like
Okay.
we would like to know.
The most important thing for survival is a spouse that loves you and that you love unconditionally.
Oh man, okay.
Wow.
But well, teacher, you all right then. You good.
Praise God.
Yeah, you sitting pretty. You all right.
Why is that the most important though? Seriously.
Yeah, tell us why.
Think about the things that you would do for someone that you love unconditionally. You'd kill concrete for them. You'd kill a brick, choke a stick, drown a glass of water to make sure that they're okay.
Right. Oh, okay.
Right? So if you have these things, and that will give you all of these other things, it will force you to want all of these other things to go into something that's going to help you to survive. It's the same thing that you should have in your financial kit.
Okay.
Because there have been financial disasters, right? When you don't have enough money to go to the grocery store, that's a disaster.
Yes.
When you don't have money to pay your car note, that could be a disaster. If you don't have money to pay your rent or your mortgage, and they say, well, there's a note on the door that says, hey, you got to get out or you got to pay or whatever, that could be a disaster, right? So having someone, a partner, someone there that you know is going to have your back, be 10 toes down, or that even if they're not financially contributing, but they inspire you to go out and be the breadwinner and to be the lead in the home, that comfort that they give to you is what will help you to get up and go and do something for yourself and for your family. So if you want to grow, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Honorable Louis Farrakhan say, settle down to a good choice,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
He didn't say just settle down to a choice. He said settle down to a good choice,
Yes, sir. And you
right?
have to have the will to do that. And
Yes.
so
And where there's a will, there's a way,
there's a way.
for
Yes,
sure.
sir. That's good. It reminds me of a song. It's called Will. Etta James. Etta James did a song called Will. And
Mm.
whenever you hear Will from Etta, you know you're on the right course. So
Man, I'm
let's
gonna listen to it tonight.
yeah.
I'm gonna listen to that too.
Mhm.
I know you said something that kind of struck me. You said even if they're not contributing financially, right? It's
Yeah.
still good to have someone in your corner. And I know what you mean that they're not working, but sometimes like if the sister stays home, if the wife stays home, her way, if she's a good steward over your money, she's
That is
contributing
contributing financially. Yes, it
and she's
is.
not being
Absolutely.
wasteful with what you bring home to her.
Absolutely.
Very
Mhm.
important
Absolutely.
for your wife to be
Absolutely.
on the same page with you
That's
mentally.
right.
And
She
I
has to
agree.
be
Absolutely.
willing to, she has to be smart enough to know how to stretch your dollar.
That's
And
right.
she has to realize that what she's doing is being frugal, but is showing love for her
Yeah.
husband, right?
Mhm.
Because
Absolutely.
who wants your husband? If your husband made a way for you to be able to sit home and by no means always sitting home, for you to stay home and rear your children, take care of your home, all the things that we want to do, and make that
Hmm.
home a beautiful, welcome, and peaceful place for him, then
Sure.
you need to your efforts in that is not being wasteful over his money, right?
That's right.
Your way
I
of
agree
controlling mine,
100%.
that's how I feel. So
Well, I think you're right.
it's
I
help
think you're right, Tisha.
contributing
I think you're right because last week, and I saw this with my own eyes, Brother William, and we'll get right back to the questions in the chat. Keep your questions coming in the chat. Last week, we went to the market to make grocery. Okay. We went
Okay.
there. We went there, and I saw, because I'm not allowed to talk when Tisha's shopping. It's
Oh,
something
that's true.
this okay.
Woo.
So
Get in
so
the
because
zone.
she's doing stuff that I don't know. So that's fine. I'm looking at her put things in the cart, and the carts keep getting fuller and fuller. And I know that the budget is $160.
Yes, sir.
The things that she has in the cart come up to $158.
Woo.
Now check this out.
Go
Check this
ahead.
out, Brother William. Then she starts talking to the cashier. They move some kind of papers around. And he starts tapping on the keyboard, and she put in some punchy things. And she saved off of that 158 $95.
That's
Go
true.
ahead.
I had
Go
never seen
ahead.
anything like that. That was amazing to me that she knows how to do that. So since I've seen that, I will continue to remain silent in the supermarket. I will
Oh,
remain
yes.
silent at the farmer's market, at wherever we are. When she's doing that, I let her do it because there's a partnership here, and
Right.
that partnership works. Could you say a word to us about the nature of business? Yes, she definitely is a coupon gangster. Definitely a
Coupon
coupon
case.
gangster. All right, yes, indeed. She's like, yeah, I'm not paying for that. See,
I'm paying for
no,
that. No,
no.
true.
So when she goes up, it's amazing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Truly amazing. No, it's two watermelons for $6. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But anyway, but we go in, and these are the things that we're learning about how
Sure.
to make households work. Could you talk to us a little bit about more and financial? I know there are questions all in the chat. If I don't see them all, please pardon me, but I know that teacher will see them, and we'll get to them as quickly as we can. And
Sure.
yes, Nakia, I will remain silent in those cases. But brother, financially, what instruments, if there were a top 3 or 4 things that people who are working class and don't have savings,
Mm-hmm.
who live check to check,
Mm-hmm.
whose credit is okay, but it ain't 800,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
These people who are making it from check to check and don't have the $400 in their savings account if something should come up or break on the car,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? How do they do that? What are the steps that they should take right now? Now, I'm not asking you to advise us as if to give us financial advice. This is not what this program is for, but
Sure.
suggestions in general about how families can begin to get a leg up and climb up out of the rut of routines. That question makes sense, Tisha? What
It
I'm
does.
asking? Okay.
Yeah. So the first thing I would do is really sit down and have a honest conversation about your finances with your spouse.
Mhm.
Uh, it's okay. Like I said earlier, it's okay to have bad news. We can handle it. We just need to know what the truth is at that point. Don't hide things from each other. Put it all out on the table. Start there. Because what we talked about earlier was having integrity and being honest, right? Regardless to whom or what.
Right.
So I think that that's a good start. The next thing that you should do is, even if we get paid with our paychecks, right, or
Mhm.
our salary, whatever it is that we're making, and the
Mhm.
first people we pay is our rent, and the next people we pay is the light, and then we pay our cell phone, we pay the car note, pay car insurance, we pay whatever it is that we have, all of these bills, and at the end of the day, we've forgotten to pay somebody who's really, 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 really important.
Mhm.
We forgot to pay ourselves.
That's right.
Right? I
Mm.
don't care if you pay yourself $1.
Mhm.
The first person that's gonna get some money out of my check is me.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's not gonna be the rent man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna be the car note. It's not gonna be and start there. That's how you begin your savings, right? Put $1 away, put $5 away, $10, whatever that number is for you. Make sure that you have a plan. And once you have that budget out and you have, okay, we can spend this amount of money on food this month. We can spend this amount of money on the light bill. If
Right.
it means turn off the lights in the house and don't leave that stove light on, then
Right.
don't leave the stove light on,
Not the
right?
stove.
If you see it, I'm going to turn it off, man. We don't,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just make sure you got your house shoes on so you're not bumping into stuff.
Right.
Right. Right. Right. And definitely, saving is the one thing, and I want to give kudos again to Sister Tisha. In our partnership, this marriage is a real partnership.
Mhm.
She is able to assert leadership in the way of financial responsibility that does not threaten me at all. I've
Right,
lived a life, as you know, Brother William, where I literally was in motion 45 weeks out of the year,
Mhm.
yes, sir.
different cities and
Moving,
different towns and buses and planes and automobiles and trains and just doing this thing.
yeah.
And so I lived a very, it was always there. And
Right.
so I
Right.
was generous and gave things away. And I had an accountant one time look at the numbers and said how much I had given away in my life.
Mhm.
He
Mm,
said, "Oh my goodness, brother."
good God.
We sat in silence for a moment, but Sister Tisha is a partner, not all over the world, Brother James, but we did what we could for the program. And Brother James, you rode with me, so you know how it was back in those days.
Mhm.
But I'm grateful to have a partner. You said it's important to have a partner who helps to do that. Um,
Yeah,
the 4 steps you said: first, begin to save and turn off those lights,
Mhm.
right?
yeah. Yes, sir.
Then, so if we put them in order, tell us what they are, because I want to make sure we can spread the word from this place that you don't have to be in fear for your
No,
well-being.
no. First, pay yourself.
Mhm.
Pay yourself. The next thing is set a budget.
Mhm.
The third thing
Mm-hmm.
is follow the budget. The next thing is put something up to save.
Right. Come on.
Store one. And those would be the four things that those are the four things that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to continue to do
Right.
because it makes sense and it's the right thing to do. Right. And
Yes.
if you put a little something away today, you'll have a little something tomorrow.
So you know what, Brother William, this is really practical. This is all I did. The thing it's not coupon gangstering. Now I did at one point when it was time when everybody was doing the extreme couponing, back before COVID, when you could really do that, I was really hitting them hard. And that's when I really got into it. And I would get so much stuff for like free. But you really can't do that now. But when you said pay yourself,
Mhm.
sometimes like after we paid I think part of it was I had a shift after my children got a little bit older. I didn't have it when they were younger. It was just grind, trying to make sure I got my ends meet, and then we just make it to the next paycheck. But then I had to look at money and finances differently, and because I always heard pay yourself first. And I'm like, how do I pay myself first if there's not enough to make all the ends meet, right? Or there's barely enough to make the ends meet. But I had to look at it differently, like you said. So I said, okay, this is a game. I'm about to play this. I knew I had to
Mhm.
get groceries, right? But these stores, they got more money than me. I got more time than I have money. So
Right.
all of these stores offer you reward points for shopping there because they want your dollars, right? They
Mhm.
offer you they have big ticket items, 2 or 3 ticket items that they mark the price down real low to get you into the store, right? And then you'll
Right.
get the 2 or 3 little things, and then they're hoping that you'll shop the rest of the way there, right?
Right.
I don't mind going to 2 to 3 different stores to get whatever I need if that means stretching my dollar. But what Han was talking about, when we go to the store, I take my time, I shop the circulars, I get only what's on sale, and then whatever little things I need. We eat the same foods all the time, right? So I just restock every week or every 2 weeks. I buy the same thing. I never let myself all the way run out, so I never have to pay full price. And when I
Right.
see the things that we use all the time, I buy it then. Even if I don't need it, I buy it so that we have some. And before you know it, your house is stocked up, right?
Mm,
You
mm.
just
Right.
rotation. When you set up and use those rewards that the stores give you, right? They're putting money back into your pocket.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
$90 back. I still got $160 worth of food. I only paid 90. So that
That's
extra
right.
money that I got back is now in my savings.
There it
Mhm.
is.
I
Well,
got it. Giant food store didn't get it, whatever, but I
mhm,
still got the product. It's a game. Take
That's
your
right.
time, figure it out, figure out where you want to, where and how you want to play this game, and hold on to your money. There's no
That's right.
reason for us to be broke.
That's right.
got you,
We go to
got you.
work every day, right? We know what our necessities are. These same bills come every single month. You know, in certain times of the year that your bill is going to be higher, an electric bill, right?
That's
I don't
right.
care if that means get you a window unit or some fans or turn some stuff off. Do what you have to do. You know it's coming.
That's
Plan
right.
for it.
That's right.
That's
Range
it.
off and lay up underneath the range off and lay up underneath that fan.
Come on.
Mhm.
Or go sit over your sister's house and run up her air. Sorry, Keith.
That,
Range off,
Bring your
range
daughter.
off.
range off.
Not
Okay.
range off.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he
Range
said.
off.
We're nearing the conclusion of the program, but we don't have to rush. I want to
No,
make one last offer to everyone who's in the chat
come
to
on.
do two things. Put your question in the system. We're going to read a question from our brother James in Dallas in just a moment. But we also want to make sure that everyone who has a question, no question is too small. Brother
Hmm.
William told us before coming on the air that he understood we may not ask questions as if we are Wall Street Titans, but our questions are sincere and they're
Absolutely.
motivated out of the will to keep our families safe in
Yes.
very
Yes.
tumultuous times. And so he
Yes.
said that. Number two, I'm going to ask that if you have not subscribed to the channel,
Hmm.
you can do that without interrupting your viewing of Nothing But the Truth. Just go on YouTube to Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha and click on that you want to subscribe to the channel. Then ask for notifications so that every time we go on air, you got the way to hear from us and be right in the mix. Do that tonight.
I love
And
it.
thank you, Sister Willetta. She has subscribed. See how easy it was? It's easy to do. So make sure you can do that. That helps us to build the platform stronger. And soon we'll be able to come to you live with information as it's breaking.
I
So
love it.
mhm. Let's go back in the chat. Tisha, are there questions that you need? And thank you. There she is, Sister Willetta. And she turned on her notifications. You go, Sister. You go.
Going back up to the
All right.
questions
All
in the
right.
chat. Come on down.
Mm-hmm. And the questions in the chat, they are where they are. And we thank you so much for doing. Oh, here we are. All right. Brother Jerry asked this question, Brother William. You see it?
Yeah, I do. What are my views on the stocks? Well, that's a very broad question. I think that you should study what it is. And if you are comfortable with it and it's not going to take away from your family,
Hmm.
then start small and grow large, right? If that's where your mindset is.
Start
I
small.
do I do have some shares of several different stocks, but
Mhm.
it doesn't I don't invest more than what I can afford to not miss, right?
Mm.
If I'm going to miss it, I'm not going to, I'm just not going to do. I'm very conservative with my investing, right? But I do believe in investing in stock, depending on which stocks they are. And I'm not going to give stock tips tonight.
Right.
I charge a lot of money for that. So we're not going to give it free tonight. However, I believe investing in the number one stock, which is myself,
Come
right?
on.
I believe in investing in things that are tangible. That means I can touch it, right? There's a tactile to it. So that may be investing in some whiting and some spices or something and some oil and and having a fish fry, right? It could mean that. It could mean getting some other things, right? So, having something to sell or something that that's the way that I believe in investing. If I can't touch it, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to invest in it.
All right.
I don't really invest in ideas.
Yes, sir.
I do invest in tangible.
No, that makes a key element.
Something
I
happened.
think Brother William has. We're back to the echo, Brother William, and we're going to do whatever we did to get rid of the echo before. We'll do that now, but I definitely want to add, brothers and sisters, that we're going to put the contact information for Brother William Muhammad. Let's put that on the screen now. And I'm going to ask Brother William if he would not mind. We're not going to go over very much, Brother William, but if we could have just about 5 or 6 extra minutes on the program. Just want to make sure we clean out all of the questions in the chat tonight. That number's on your screen, 510-776-0722. That's 776-0722. In the Bay Area, 510 is the area code. Of course, the email, wrmuhammad26@gmail.com. And certainly, Brother William, if you can, in this last home stretch, before Sister Tisha begins this next question, please take our love to all of the believers and the laborers and the family there in the Bay Area, in Oakland, in San Francisco, in San Jose, in Sacramento, in Richmond, and Vallejo, and all of the people who right now are listening to La Russell in one channel and have us in the other channel, and they're doing the hyphy and whatever else they're doing yeah, it's an Oakland thing. But thank you, but please give our love to everybody in the Bay. Tish, you had some more questions for our top guest tonight?
Just before you go, if you could just touch on for our young subscribers who maybe are just leaving, that age, they're just leaving college, maybe haven't bought their first homes, but they're looking to start, right? They're interested in maybe starting their first home. They're leaving apartments, leaving their parents' house. What tip would you give them as far as starting their financial path? What should their first step be? Stocks, save, what is it? You're muted. Hold on. You're muted. Okay.
Okay, there we go. My first thing would be one, find some kind of income, whatever that is. Don't wait. Don't slow down. Keep going and make sure that you pay your bills on time and before time, because that credit is going to come into play. Make sure mama ain't accidentally put the electric bill in your name. Make sure daddy didn't use your credit to buy a car or something like that. Get those things checked out. And if there is an issue, certainly there are things that you can do to rectify them, but start early and check those things often. Don't be wasteful with your money. Set yourself a goal and a time to get to that goal and continue to move from that standpoint. And the biggest piece of advice that I can give somebody, the worst advice that I ever received was to go to college to get a good job. That is the absolute worst advice you could give any black child. Send your children to school to create a good job.
Yes, sir.
That's my advice.
Okay. We're echoing. But we're also getting ready to wrap up the show. I hope everyone found something that they could use, something to help get you back on the straight path, the financial path. That one. That's the one we're talking about. I want to remind everyone at this time before you go, like we've said it 50 million times, but let's do it one more time. Go on over to our YouTube page. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Invite a friend to watch the rebroadcast of the show. There's a lot of information that was shared, and we need to just sit here and unpack this, right? Share it with your children. After you've liked, shared, and subscribed on YouTube, go over to our Facebook page, Tisha Muhammad, and do the same. All right, and then don't forget to come back next Thursday, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and tune in for another exciting episode of Nothing But the Truth with Brother Jamil and Sister Tisha. We hope to have you back soon too, Brother William, because there's so much we haven't touched on.
And I like what my brother James says in Texas. He says we must live within our means until we can do better. If you only have $1, you can save a dime. That's a quote from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And you're right, Brother Jerry. Those are absolute facts. Brother William, thank you for being with us again tonight. Always good to see you, my brother. And for those who don't know, you can always reach out for Brother William, 510-776-0722. And you can connect with your brother. He's not unscrupulous. He won't take your money. If he can't serve you, he'll send you to someone who can. That's the definition of character and integrity. And that's why Brother William is a guest on Nothing But the Truth with
Brother Jamil
and Sister Tisha. We thank you for tuning in as we do every week. May Allah bless you. Have a great, great week. We love you. Tisha, I'm going to serenade you tonight after the show goes off. And I'm going to hit you tonight with some Johnny Mathis, okay? And a little bit of that Tony Bennett for you. I got you. Love you, everybody. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.